Big Ten West wildcard. MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football, breaking down every schedule in the Power 5 and Group of 5 schedules by request. We have started in the Big Ten. We're done with the East. Check out the videos. Please leave your record projection for each team and let me know what you think about our schedule breakdowns. These are just record projections and schedule previews right now. My final prediction comes in August. We are hoping and praying for a full football season, of course, in 2020. Let's talk Purdue, but before we do, you got to subscribe to MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football. This is what we do, full throttle, nonstop, 24/7, 365, regardless of the day, the time, the month. We're here talking college football, breaking it down. We bring on the best bloggers, broadcasters, and writers in the nation, plus analysis, yes, from myself on a regular basis. For those who don't think I have an opinion, you've not watched the videos, you've not stuck with me for long enough. Yes, I am a host and facilitator through many of the shows because we bring on experts on those particular teams. Miami, Florida State, and Ohio State exclusive live streams each and every week. Plus, your favorite teams are coming. We have scanned most of the elite teams in the Power 5 for live streams, so check those out. You got to subscribe. You get the bell. Turn it on for the notifications. You know when we're going live. Our next call-in show is coming up each Sunday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. All right, let's get to Purdue. You're going to see a ton of T's. We have not been this wishy-washy, this much of a coward with any other team. But what I've done here is the W's mean that it's basically a sure win. The L's mean it's basically a sure loss, even though I can see Purdue going to Michigan and winning. I would not be shocked at that happening. But basically, the 90-some% certainty of wins are the W's and the losses the same. Then anything in between that's a reasonable argument for either team winning the game. Not necessarily a toss-up, although I went with T for toss-up. A reasonable chance either team's going to win. Usually I've got about 3 or 4 T's up there. For Purdue, there are 10. This is a wild card team. Jeff Brom took over in 2017. Of course, pulled off the big win 2016, pulled off the big win 2017. Yes, pulled off the big win against Ohio State the next season. 2017 came in, won a bowl game, finished over 500 at Purdue for the first time in a decade, fixed the defense. As a quarterback whisperer of sorts, known for his offensive prowess, but they fixed the defense, got so much better, and finished at 7-6. Then they got blown out by Auburn at the conclusion of the next season, but again, had 3 wins over ranked teams. That doesn't happen at Purdue. Has not for a long, long time since Joe Tiller's heyday. But they won 6 games, went to a bowl game against Auburn. Then last year, injuries caught up with them. The schedule worked against them, and they just weren't as good. Flat out. I think it's a blip on the radar. I think this is a solid program, solid footing, stable under Jeff Brom's leadership. Are they going to be elite? Are they going to be the Wisconsin? Or are they going to be elite? That's eons away. Competitive at the top of the Big Ten Western Division with the likes of Wisconsin and Iowa on a regular basis. I don't see it anytime soon. But they're within range. Let's give it a look. Nebraska to open it up. We mentioned this in other videos. The Big Ten becoming a little bit more fluid and flexible in its scheduling in recent years. Some Friday night affairs in the Big Ten amongst the Big Ten teams. And here's a Saturday game, but to open the season, that used to never happen in the Big Ten. Key game in the Western Division, Purdue goes to Nebraska. They have played some wild and wacky games in recent years. That's a toss-up. The non-conference slate for Purdue, they don't play a juggernaut. No Oklahomas, Alabamas, Clemsons, nothing like that. But look at the non-conference slate for Purdue. It's formidable. Memphis, the best of the group of 5 last year, at West Lafayette. Air Force, a team that went 11-2, and won a bowl game over Washington State last year. 11-2, a top 15 to 20 team last year. Now, does Air Force turn that in, year out? No. But they're typically a capable 7 or 8 win team, and they come to West Lafayette. Those are toss-up games, as is a trip to Boston College, who might be a bit down with the coaching change. coming off a 7-win regular season last year and a bowl loss to Cincinnati, but that's on the road for Purdue. So Purdue could be sitting at 4-0 or 0-4 and be pretty much the same team after 1 month. That's how close the matchups are, especially early on for this team. Rutgers, got to count that as a win, although the Scarlet Knights under Greg Schiano will win a game in the Big Ten in the next 2 years, and I'm projecting 1 win this year. But that game's in West Lafayette. At Illinois, they need to win that game. At Michigan, they've got a shot. Probably going to be a 3-score underdog in that game. Look it down the stretch. Yes, Northwestern, if Purdue is to get back to postseason play, they've got to beat the Illinois and the Northwesterns. Then they go on the road to Minnesota. And again, Minnesota, I think, is being overvalued a little bit. They were undervalued to start 2019. Yes, they went 11-2. I have sang the praises of PJ Fleck, but let's back up just a bit on Minnesota being an established contender. So that's still a toss-up in my eyes. Tough stretch run with Wisconsin and Iowa at home. They'll be a substantial underdog the way things look now against the Badgers and the Hawkeyes. And then, of course, the Old Oak and Bucket game against Indiana, which the Big Ten has made a fine decision on in making that the lone, one and only Eastern-Western Division matchup that is intact each and every year because of the rivalry between Indiana and Purdue. They lost it to the Hoosiers 44-41. This has been a series that's gone back and forth, and both teams have been pretty marginal for their histories. Generally, Purdue's been the better football history overall, but they lost it to the Hoosiers by a field goal, 44-41 this past season. They go to Bloomington, and they might be riding on a bowl game against their rivals. Purdue went to 4-8 last year. It's a tough one to call this year because, man, they could be anywhere from 3-9 to 8-4. I'm looking at 5-7 right now with a 4-5 record in the Big Ten for the Boilers. Would love to hear what you have to say about Purdue football right here at MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football. Please subscribe if you want to help us build the channel and stay going strong. We'll see you next time with more Big Ten Western Division schedule previews.